Dark Satellite Media.
Hey, welcome to episode 52 of Red River Podcast. Today, I get to talk to Doug from the Vansaders, a band that I fell in love with from the first time I saw them play on a rooftop in Brooklyn to today, going through the discography again. So, what's up, Doug?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being on, man.
What part of Jersey was it? I always feel like you're in Asbury.
Yep, Asbury. Well, actually, Asbury Park. There's actually a separate town called Asbury. I've talked to some. I don't remember why this came up, but I was talking to a venue owner around here about a show that had recently happened, and he said that I guess one of the opening bands touring bands was late because they went to Asbury, not Asbury Park.
Holy shit!
I thought that was pretty funny.
Are they real far apart?
Horrible?
It's so horrible. It's like basically
Are they nowhere near each other? Asbury Park and Asbury? No.
It's like an hour away.
Oh, shit.
I remember one day I quoted lyrics to a Promise Ring song, and the song went, "Boardwalking on the boardwalk, New Jersey shore." Mm-hmm. And Doug hit me up. He's like, "Yo, where the hell are you?" I was like, "Oh, shit." I'm like, I forgot he lives there. I'm like, no, I'm just quoting stupid lyrics to a Promise Ring song. But yeah, I just want to get everyone up to speed. So your band is a band that my band played with forever ago. I know you were living out in the city. To basically start off, if you ask me, it's everything that I listen to. So if you take Limbeck, if you take the old 97s, if you take American Steel, if you take the Super Suckers and Alkaline Trio and mix them all together, I think you get something along the Vansaders.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that, by the way. I'm going to use that from now on.
Put that in your bio, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you quote Red River Podcast.
So we met through Chris Andrews. He was booking these shows, and I remember, it was probably up on the rooftop at a place that is now called the Kingsland. And he was like, oh, because he knows that, the type of shit that I like. So he's like, oh, you're going to love this band. And I believe you guys even played maybe as a 6-piece or a 5-piece. It was like a violin player.
A violin player?
There was a girl.
I don't know about that.
No, who was the...
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that we had a keyboard player.
Okay, keyboard player.
Keyboard violin.
Yeah, keyboard violin. Yeah.
Same thing, whatever.
Easily mistaken. So you came across the guys in Lugosi, and I believe it was Habits. So how did you meet all those dudes?
All right, I should probably come up with a better story, but I haven't. So John Redmond, who was the original bass player in Vansaders, who you've met John.
Absolutely. I was in contact with him recently, so.
Oh, yeah? Nice. So he had posted on Craigslist looking for a singer-songwriter. If I'm not mistaken, he mentioned Gaslight Anthem, Social D, and Alkaline Trio, I think. And I was looking for a band. And I was in I think the band I was in right before that was real terrible. I don't even remember the name of that band.
And
anyways, whatever.
Were you singing or playing?
I was only singing. It was Sam. It was god awful. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was that was like the classic move of like oh, I love music so much. I'm desperate. I need to do something. And then I found some people somewhere that quote unquote like music, you know.
Yeah,
you know what that means. Anyways, so I found John's ad and like, great, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And that was it. He knew all those other guys. So, you know, me and him kind of got the thing rolling, and then he pulled the other guys in, and it went like that.
Yeah, John is a good connector. My band played.
Oh yeah.
My band played, and he came from like Hawaii. He came from somewhere, not New York. I know that.
Yeah.
And my band recently played Beery's, Mr. Beery's out here on Long Island with Night Surf. And John was in the crowd, and he did the same thing to me. Like we were talking, he was like, "Yo," he's like, "I want to write songs with you," which is probably what he did with you, because he's such a smart songwriter. He does like the visual stuff. Like, what was the thing that he was doing just recently that you were involved in?
So John's insanely talented. I just saw him last week, and he came down to see Joey Cape and Chris Cresswell.
Okay,
great show. So the project that he was working on that I contributed to was he wrote, you know, a bunch of songs, but, you know, he's got a kid, he's married, he's settled down, so he doesn't have a regular band to play him. So he got me, he got Mikey from Habits, he got a bunch of other people from Night Surf to record these songs with Jesse Cannon. And he got accompanying art pieces, original art pieces for each song.
And that's the brilliant part of it. Wow. Like
I'll tell you what, I think there's more to it that I'm missing, but yeah, he's a smart guy when it comes to creativity, you know?
Yeah. He, you know, like we talked about that part, and it was such a visual thing too. Like you see, it was called Lovesick Bombs. I'm pretty sure that was the name.
Yeah, Lovesick Bombs.
Yeah, and he just, like you said, he married everyone. It's like the traveling Wilburys, and this dude is, you know. But I get it. You know, you have the kid, and you have this life, but he still loves to make music. So at that time, was Habits still? Were they a band when the Vansaders formed?
No, not yet.
Okay, so then
I don't know if Mikey knew the guys who would be in Habits yet.
Okay,
I don't think so.
So the Vansaders and Habits were basically the same band, minus like a couple of people. Mikey sang for Habits and Doug sang for the Vansaders, and it's all good and fun until eventually, like, you know, it becomes like a wear and tear. It's like, all right, well, who's gonna play and stuff. But so, what made you move to the city?
Well, I grew up kind of partially in the city. My dad's always lived in Manhattan, so I was kind of, you know, between the Jersey Shore, well, even in North Jersey and Manhattan my whole life, back and forth. And then I went to college in Manhattan too, so I kind of just another reason to be there.
And so along this time, you guys put out a record that, I mean, to this day, if you ask me, I mean, it's so weird, but it's truly one of the best records I've ever heard. Stuck in New York City.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's I mean, it was a band firing on all cylinders for sure. Like, so for this to be your debut record, what do you remember about like making this record? Like, to me, like I told you,
I'll tell you what.
I was going to say, No Plans is one of the best songs I've ever heard a band write. And what else?
All John. All
right, well, he's a genius then. So, what do you remember about making this record?
Honestly, I mean, when we made that record, I wasn't really experienced in being in a real band, you know, recording in the studio. Honestly, all the work on that record is primarily everyone else.
Okay.
You know what? Not all of it, but like John was really the one who really kind of assembled the sound, and wrote a lot of the songs on there. And you know, it was really like a learning experience for me. Like when we recorded that record, that's when I was like, all right, so this is how I have to be. Like, this is how I have to function. This is how I have to play. You know what I mean?
Amazing. And because like you were younger than everyone, so this is like, and it's your voice. Like you have a very distinct voice. A lot of
thanks, man.
Like if anyone like were to listen to you and then actually see you, being that, you know, you're like a slightly young kid.
Oh,
you know, I mean, he's you have to be at least 10 years younger than me, so he's definitely like are you even 30 yet?
30.
Okay, yeah, 30 exactly. So very distinct voice, great tone. You don't really overextend. You know, you're not like singing like you're in Red City Radio or something. Which is a really cool thing because it's not overpowering. Like you're not like, you know, listening. It's not like hot water music. And what I love that you do sometimes as far as songwriting is that it allows you to, at the very end, do one of my favorite pop tricks, which is to go up a key for that second chorus.
I love key changes.
Isn't that the best?
It's the best. Once you get once you figure out the right one, you're like, oh shit, got it. Yes.
I'll always remember listening to "I'll Be There for You" by Bon Jovi. Shout out to New Jersey. And when he kicks it up, I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? So the band goes, chugging along. But eventually, these dudes are a little bit older, so they all kind of do their own thing. Maybe they, like you said, got married, had kids. So when did you see that, like, the end of this lineup was coming?
Honestly, I don't really remember exactly. I feel like there wasn't really like one moment. It was kind of just like dwindling slowly because for a while, if I'm not mistaken, I might be getting my timeline a little funky here, but I think I had moved back to Jersey and it was still that lineup. But when I moved back to Jersey, that's when it started to like kind of, I guess I started to kind of notice like, all right, I got to figure something else out. Like I knew they didn't care,
Yeah.
It was just fun for them, but I wanted to keep going, I wanted to keep writing. And I was coming into my own as a musician. Like I remember watching, I spent a lot of time watching Mikey play and sing and just, I don't know, kind of like taking notes, like, all right, so I gotta get tighter with this, like I gotta get tighter on my chugs, for example. You know what I mean? Like I learned a lot from all those guys for sure.
Yeah, Mikey, I would watch Mikey play too, and just like you.
Yeah, he's a monster, he's got it down.
What you did, because I saw you and I admired it, was you're still a songwriter. So in that interim time, you would play lots of solo shows.
Oh yeah, man, I was busy.
You were there.
You know what? The way I looked at it was, if I stop now, I'm not going to pick this back up again. I mean, not music, obviously, but the band, like if I stop doing these songs, like that's it. And I didn't want that. Like I wanted to keep the thing going. I feel like we got a real good start, and I wasn't ready to stop,
No, and super talented, because I remember you came out to the Velvet Lounge, you did a solo set. And what I remember is just, sometimes you watch people play guitar and play solo sets. Like, I could do a solo set and maybe, sound okay. But then you watch someone else who really plays a solo set and they're playing these songs that are just like, you're a great single picker, everything, super talented guy.
Right.
So watching that, I knew that you were able to really still spread these songs, and a lot of the songs that later went into the following records I heard like different versions of. So that was super smart of you until you found the guys James and Dave, obviously from Queens. So then you guys made Jumping at the Shadows together.
Yep, we did Jumping in Shadows.
I do enjoy the covers that you do. And Generator's such a random cover. Like, why would Bad Religion Generator be something that you would want to cover?
Honestly, Generator, again, that was John. Like, we had already introduced that into the set.
Okay.
And I just always really liked the way we played it. Like, we didn't have the weird part. You know what I'm talking about? Never understand that part of the song. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, our version is really like straight up, and there's a part in the Bad Religion song, and I've always loved the song Generator. That was the first Bad Religion song I'd ever heard. Like, I've known that my whole life, that song.
Yeah, great record.
And there's one part of the song that's just like they cut out a little bit, and I never quite understood why they do that, because I feel like it cuts the energy of the song. And we took it out, and I like it better.
Well, Are you? I know Bad Religion and Alkaline Trio playing out over in your home.
Of course, I'm going to that.
Hell yeah!
Of course.
You motherfuckers should have been opening that show. Who's opening that show?
Oh, I know it. I tried to get on it. I tried to get an after party going. I tried all the angles. No luck.
God damn. Is it?
I don't think either there is no opener or it's someone who's on tour with them. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think I got dicked out of it. I don't think so.
So, I love the guys from Bombers, Dave and James. I would imagine the distance from Queens, because, if you said you moved back to Jersey, I would imagine you guys were practicing somewhere in the middle, and I would only imagine. No?
You'd imagine wrong. I was going all the way up to Queens every Wednesday.
Oof.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's a commute.
That'll knock it out
brutal.
of you. Yeah. So then, did you guys play any shows behind this one?
Yeah, no, we were active at first, and then we just I don't really know what happened. We just kind of started like slowing down. Things just weren't coming together. Like, I don't know.
So it's basically
it just kind of fizzled after a while.
So the same thing, kind of, with the first lineup, and then from there, once again, I watch you from Long Island. Like I said, I consider you a friend of mine. I never really see you that much, but I admire your trajectory. Like, you're out there, you're doing your thing. So when does this like final lineup come together?
I was looking at that recently. I habitually don't delete my emails, and oh man, it's terrible, and like it's starting to really wear on my nerves. So I've been really going for it. I went from like, let me think, 17,000 emails.
Oh my God.
To about 7,000, deleting one by fucking one over the last like 3 weeks.
You have like, you're one of those people on your phone, you have like, says 17,000 notifications. So that gives me like anxiety when I see that shit. I'm a clear it out
guy. 7,000.
I left it alone. Like, I don't even care. Like, I see, anytime I sign on, I probably have like 6,000. But
I want to take your phone and delete everything.
Yeah, I don't
like
even
obsessive about
because there's nothing like, I see it when it comes in, and
right.
It's nothing. It's like,
Right. That's how that's how I was. I'm trying to just get a hold on it. Anyways, the reason I said that is I found a bunch of old posters and show related things. So it put a timeline on how long I've been with these guys. So I think it's been about 4 years now.
This has to be
maybe
longest.
a little longer. Yeah, this is definitely the longest for sure.
Do you remember like the moment in time? First of all, what are the names? I know Declan is one of them, right?
Declan, Jay, and Kyle.
Okay. So when was the moment that you remember that you're like playing with these guys and you feel like, okay, this is the band that I've been waiting for?
Well, I mean, it didn't come together immediately. Like, Jay, I started playing with Jay, the drummer, first, and that was great. I'm like, awesome. This dude can play. That's awesome. Which, like, you don't get that all the time. You don't always, it's hard to find somebody, no matter what instrument, to be able to play like you want them to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And off the bat, Jay was like, perfect. He was the guy, and he's like, I know this bass player. So Kyle came into the mix, right? Now, Kyle at first didn't want to play because he saw a photo of me playing a show wearing this jacket that he didn't like.
Wow.
The members only?
Isn't that funny?
Completely understandable.
I will stand behind this fucking jacket for the rest of my life. Anyways, I don't remember what happened exactly, but he ended up coming in. I think he had either just gotten married or was about to get married, and he's like, I'll play for a while until he gets somebody. All right, so then it was me, Jay, and Kyle, and then Declan. Declan's way younger than me. I had known Declan for probably like 4 or 5 years, maybe. He's like 23, 4 now.
Damn.
Put in his first sec. Anyways, so he was in a band called Karina Karina. Yeah, he was in a band called Karina, and they were awesome. They were all like young. They'd been in a band since they were like 14, and they just wrote these great like pop punk songs. They were awesome. And I think we had played a couple shows together. Or I had at least seen them before, and I always knew he was capable. But when I first kind of wanted Declan, he was probably 17 years old, so I wasn't ready for him yet. Yeah. He was, you know what I mean? Anyways, at that time he was a little older, so it was perfect. I hit him up. He came in, knew all the fucking songs better than I did. I think that's what kind of got Kyle to be like, all right, we can do this, you know?
Because I know, like, you know, the old lineup, like, you would do all, like, the soloing. Like, you were like Mac from Superchunk. Like, you would, you know, you would play the songs, and then, like, I would watch. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, is he even doing the solos? Does Declan do any of this stuff, or?
I've stepped back. Yeah, Declan's way better than me, man. Declan's way better. He rips it. It's crazy.
Okay. And are you, just out of curiosity, because I know you were doing guitar teaching. Are you still doing that?
No, I'm not doing that anymore.
God damn. Why though?
That, you know, it's a tough job to teach music. And when you work for, like, I mean, it's a corporate music school, but this, I guess, applies to all music schools. When you have to deal with kids who don't want to learn, it's horrible. Right. You know, like, if you get the right kids who want to learn, it's great. And I definitely had a lot of those too. But man, when the kids don't want to learn, and depending on like how young they are, it's rough, dude. And it doesn't pay that well to work for a company.
I was having a conversation with my cousin she's like 23-year-old female, lives out in Bushwick, and you know, every now and then we'll trade like Spotify links and stuff. And I sent her something, and she was like, "Oh, she's like, I don't know if I like this sound." I forgot what I sent her, and I was like, "What sound is that?" She's like a band. I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, she just couldn't comprehend. She was like sending me like the most random like guy in a bedroom making electronic music, and I send her like a band, and she just couldn't. She's like, this sound. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, wait, so
that's
like
crazy.
Guitar, bass, and drums is too much for you?
That's radical. Wow.
Wild. And you know, that's like some of these kids, you know, they want to learn like Ed Sheeran. Like, I'm going to teach you Ed Sheeran on guitar. Like, I feel like you just want to listen to Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, you just want to
like, just put the record on.
You just want to hear it. You don't want to play it.
Right.
Well, for Langan here, he had a guitar teacher, and what you wanted him to teach how to play Slayer, and he wouldn't do it, right?
No, he would do it, but then he would like stop the tape and be like, look at me. He's like, you know, these guys kind of suck, right? And I was like, what? No, they're awesome. And it's like, nah.
Different time.
That's funny.
Okay, so do you remember what the first thing you guys, what was the first EP that you guys did together with this?
First lineup was This Time Around.
This Time Around. Okay. Yeah, man. Oh, so okay. This is interesting because the song Moving Home, which was also on like a different version of the first record, but this Moving Home is completely different than the acoustic version. And like lyrically, it's pretty like personal, right?
Well, you'd have to ask Mikey. He wrote that one.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I was just picturing, you know what, because you were talking about like your mom and like, you know, like obviously your mom has like a really cool Facebook presence and she's a Stern fan. So I was just like, oh shit. I'm like listening to this story.
Do you write a lot of lyrics or is it everybody?
It's funny. It's funny. I keep saying other people are writing everything. Now I write actually, Declan's writing now too. I write the majority for sure, but the first record, a lot of the songs were John, and that one was Mikey.
Interesting.
Which is funny because I recorded that after moving home.
Well, that's kind of like what I figured. I figured you were living in the city, and so maybe you just connected with that song for sure. But
yeah, he brought it one day. He's like, he didn't. I have this distinct memory of him like not really thinking it was that like good. And I remember hearing it being like, fuck, that's like our best song now. Are you kidding? What are you talking about?
Fucking Modest Mouse over there. Like, yeah, man. So once again, and so this time around has another cover, which is Dancing in the Dark, which obviously makes a lot of sense coming from Jersey. Was like Springsteen like something that was like
cover.
Unavoidable growing up where you grew up?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I read about it all the time. Like, I don't know if you saw, there was a Rolling Stones article put out yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think it was put out yesterday, but I saw it yesterday about how like Asbury Park's music scene is like, back and surviving. Yep. And these fucking assholes are just talking about Bruce Springsteen, who is almost, if not 70, and just like other bands that like come to tour here. what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
We know about Bruce. We know. Everybody knows Bruce from Asbury Park.
He's
enough with the Bruce.
Yeah,
I love Bruce, for the record. I love Bruce, but like, come on, man.
He's your
that's our Billy Joel.
Yeah, that's our Billy Joel for sure. Because every time it's like, oh man, Billy Joel. I'm like, yeah, all right.
There's
Billy.
a lot of other things came out of here.
Yeah, like Twisted Sister,
Public Enemy.
Yeah, can we get De La Soul up on the Long Island list?
Yeah, man.
I just don't get, if you're gonna write an article about like an emerging scene or like a scene coming back, you need to talk about old bands for it. It doesn't make any sense, you know.
Make it relevant, yeah,
for sure. But and you guys definitely are a part of that. Like I always see you. There's a band.
For the record, I'm not just bitter here.
No, for sure.
I just think it's weird. You know, you're writing an article and you're talking about how the scene is like back, and you're not talking about the scene though.
If you're writing a retrospective, if you're writing an old,
but they also mentioned the Black Lips. Like, what are you talking about the Black Lips for? That doesn't make any sense.
The Black Lips are from Jersey?
No, but they played here recently, and that made the article. Like, are you kidding me?
But so all the shows that I see you, there's like a handful of bands. I know you guys just did something with a band called Late Wave.
Yep.
And also another band that I always see you mixed in with is Crypt Keeper 5.
Crypt Keeper 5. Yep.
Okay, so what are some of the bands in that scene? Like, what's the circle that's like doing their thing out there?
Besides Bruce.
So Late Wave is an Asbury band for sure. They're awesome. We just played. We did like a split vinyl with them. We just released on Saturday. They're a great band. If you get a chance, check them out. Crypt Keeper 5 are a Trenton band, and they're amazing. I love those guys. Their music is awesome. They're awesome people. I'm actually going to see them tomorrow night.
What do they sound like?
They rock hard. They're just awesome. You got to just check them out.
Yeah, I will for sure. What else?
We did a little run with them too. We went down south with them.
Was that like the first like real tour you guys did?
You know what? I don't remember if we did. No, you know what? I think we did 2 weekends with 1 weekend off in between, like 2 long weekends.
Yep.
And the first one was Doc Rotten. Check out Doc Rotten. They're awesome dudes. Good, straightforward punk rock. They're on the road a lot too. They go for it for sure.
What are some cool venues that you play out there? Like, like we'll have, we have AMH here, we have Mr. Beery's. That's basically it. Like we're relegated to like 2 things over here. What's going on in your area?
We're lucky in Asbury Park because we have a lot of venues that are within 1 square mile. Like, there's a ton of places to play. We play a lot at the Asbury Park Yacht Club.
Oh,
not a yacht club, for the record. It's right on the boardwalk. It's a sweet place to play. Free shows. It's great. There is the Saint. The Saint is like the last real venue with a stage that's not owned by some fucking corporation. It's great. The Saint is like the spot for sure. Asbury Park Brewery does a lot of shows. They do a great job. They get a lot of cool stuff too.
They do actually.
Like I just saw
Joe.
Yeah. They get Joey Cape just played there with Chris Cresswell. That's where we saw them. It's awesome.
But the dude that does it is Joe with the K. I forget his right, isn't it?
No, Joe Polito.
Okay.
Joe Polito, Aftermath Collective.
Okay, I thought it was that the dude that does the Trenton art thing.
I know who you're talking about. Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't want to butcher Joe's last name.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I said Joe K.
Yeah. He's a great dude too.
Yeah, man. He's super. Yeah. We played out at the Court Tavern, I think it's called.
Yep.
And he was there, and he was like, I guess super cool to us. Shannon Perez, introduced us, and
yeah, Shannon's great.
Yeah, Shannon's awesome. I wanted to bring up really what I think is my favorite Vansaders release post the first record, which is No Matter What. I think that's like the best. I think these 5 songs are like the best songs that you've done. Like Roll the Dice, Sunrise especially. Like those first.
That's awesome, man.
Those first 2 songs are massive.
So that record, I really like that record. what I like about it is that was the first time. Now I wrote those songs, but that was the first time that the first time that was a real collaborative. Like we all contributed to that a lot. Like this time around, a lot of that I kind of just had ready, mentally ready to go. And we had just gotten together and it was just, it was less, I just had it ready. You know what I mean? Like mentally everything was kind of locked in.
It sounds really right.
But no matter what was everybody contributing like a lot to their songwriting, to like arrangements, to everything, which was really fun, for all of us.
Yeah. Very cool.
But that being said, the new stuff, so I don't know if oh yeah, I did. I sent it to you actually. Siren Song, which is the most recent single we put out. We'll be putting out another one in a few weeks. And then full length down the road. All that stuff I would say is even more collaborative. So personally, I'm all about the new shit right now.
Yeah.
And Declan, like I said, Declan wrote some songs too that are going to be on this full length, which is exciting because he used to write for Karina. He's a great songwriter. When you hear it, you're going to be like, holy shit. This motherfucker now.
Is it going to be one of those things like an Alkaline Trio thing where you guys sing separate songs or you're singing those songs?
Yeah, no, he's singing them.
Okay, cool. So you're going to do...
Which is fun, by the way, for me, because I enjoy doing backups. Like, writing the backups is fun as hell. I have fun just sitting back, you know what I mean?
I do, because I joined a band and I sing backups and I just play guitar. So it's one of those things where it's like... when you front a band for so long, it's a different flavor. It's like, oh, I could just jump around and just concentrate on playing guitar, and occasionally,
it's cool.
It's fun. It's very freeing. You get to, walk around like a jerk off. But
I know what you mean. It's great.
So what you've been doing is what I thought I came up with this idea like 3 years ago, but it turns out that you had it before I did. Now with streaming, I feel like the best way to release music is in just like these little clumps. Yeah. I think you hit people off with like a single here, 4 songs here, 5 songs there.
Definitely.
I think it's just to me. I realized after releasing a full length in 2018 that I was just like, you know what? I'm like, the next thing we do, we'll just do 3 EPs in a row. And I think it just allows...
I think it allows the listen. There's so much stuff coming at you all the time,
yeah,
and music and stuff like that. By releasing a smaller EP, I think it's like it's better for the listener to really wrap their head around what you're having to release some 12 track or 14 track.
You're competing with
for sure
with everything. So, but you said you were doing a full length down the line this year, or like another
So I'm going to give you my tentative plan.
Sure.
Subject to change. So we just put out this split. We're going to be releasing. We released one of those songs online. We're going to be putting out another one of those songs online in a few weeks. And the middle track is just staying on the split for now. So if you want to hear that one, you got to buy the split. Anyways, we're going to put out 2 more videos. Actually, maybe 3 more videos, 3 more singles, and then. If everything goes according to plan, I think we're going to release everything that's on the split and the rest of all those songs as a record.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, because then from there, people already have the chance, and then from there you just throw it into one thing. How important do you think a visual is now? Because I think YouTube is super important. That's why my band, I'm like, let's just make a real video.
Yeah.
A
lot of people use
It's hard to tell. I mean, I think nowadays you kind of just need every angle you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily gonna help, and that's kind of why we're putting all these, doing these videos. But I think just the way that the music industry has sucked from day one, and it's only 10 times worse now. I feel like you have to just do everything you can do. And if you can do a video, do a video. You know what I mean?
Definitely. There's so many options for people to listen to their music. You got to hit them from all angles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All angles.
Yeah.
Streaming.
That's why what John did with the visual art is genius. Like that's just another angle right there.
It is. Like you watch it and you get something visually, because people even like I like the like IGTV on Instagram is cool, but I think anything above a minute, like you're just going to lose someone. Right. You give them that sample and
totally.
Right?
Totally. So, nobody has any attention span, me included, like
me too.
It's gone. It's gone like collectively, I don't know how that's possible, but it's definitely the case.
I don't even watch porn clips for longer than a minute.
No. Don't bother.
Yeah, a minute at a time. That's it.
Takes longer than that. So that Siren song, that's your newest video? That's your latest?
That's the newest thing we've put out, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool video, man. Sam hit me to you guys. I wasn't familiar with you before, and
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed the video. I love I hear so many influences in your stuff. I hear some like almost like and there's like a countryish influence, Pogues. I hear a little Pogues, Social Distortion, all kinds of stuff that I like mixed together. It's really good.
Yeah, it's like you
I love to hear that. That's great.
You're a big melody guy. Like when you instantly like anyone that I've ever played your band for, I know that it's like an instant thing, because there's melody there. The chorus is usually right behind, so it's super pleasing to the ear. To any, it's not like I'm showing someone like Napalm Death and being like, oh, you might like this. Like, it's like you play it. So yeah, man. Anything else as far as like on the calendar that you want to shed a little light on?
As of right now, not really. We're going to be putting out a song called Red and Blue that is on the split. We're going to put out online in a few weeks, and then a video to follow with that too.
Okay. Who's
that's about it.
Who's making the video? Like a friend?
That video, so it's a lyric video. I don't remember how we found the guy, but it's a complete stranger, and it's pretty sweet, honestly. We got it like all like, communications online. That's it. We got it. We're like, holy shit, this dude just turns this shit out for like, I don't remember what he charged, but it wasn't much. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, for sure.
I'll send you the link.
Okay. Do you, like the more you play home as opposed to like the city and whatever, like I don't know. I just like visually see like a lot of the clips of the shows. Like I feel like you guys have like a nice little crew of people that come and check you out all the time. Am I wrong? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Our at home shows have been really awesome for a bit. Okay, yeah, that's always fun, man. That's perfect. So, before we started talking, I wanted to, there's a show that we talk about music, movies, pop culture, and when we have like a guest on, especially a musician, I love to know, the influences, like the shit that make you like really be what you are. So I know we asked you to just give us 5 albums that you feel molded you or gave you the most influence. I got my list right here. I wrote it down for you. Cool. We give homework, yeah. Yeah, we give homework. I got Nobody's Darlings by Lucero. Oh, that's a good one. Is that the one with Bike Riders, right? Bike Riders on that. Yeah, it's with Bike Riders. I mean, I love Lucero. I love everything, but that album, I don't know. I guess I don't even remember. I heard one record before I heard that one, and it was awesome, and I really liked it. But then I heard Nobody's Darlings, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the shit right there, Yeah, for sure. Good Morning, Alkaline Trio. It's just a great record. Really? I love that record. I think are you going to say that's your favorite Alkaline Trio record? No, not necessarily. Okay, all right. What's your favorite? I might be. Hold on a second. I might have meant God Damn It. Did I mean God Damn It? Well, God Damn It's the first one. Good Morning is the one, that's when they started changing the sound. You know what? No, I mean Good Morning. I love Good Morning. That's what Emma's on that. Emma's on there. Blue in the Face. Yeah, all on Black. Yeah. I got the right one. Yep. Okay, good. I love that record. Yeah. I mean, Trio's an amazing band. I can't wait to go see them. Yeah, just great songwriting, and one of those bands. It's very hard, I would imagine, especially for a micromanager like me, to a band member that does his own songs. So you have two really distinct, separate songwriters, and they have Dan and Matt, and they have really different styles, but it really works in the band.
Sure.
And the harmonies.
They definitely complement each other. I don't think Dan gets enough credit though.
Oh, especially the later records, he's been writing the better songs.
It's insane. Like I feel like almost definitely way more people are familiar with the name Matt Skiba.
Yes.
Which just shouldn't be the case at all. Like, I don't know how it worked out that way, but it's crazy. Dan's a man.
Dan's a monster.
Let's see. Going down the list here. I got London Calling by The Clash.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay. So that set that you guys did a full Clash set.
That was killer. Very killer.
Yeah, it was up. It's up on YouTube.
So that was so much fun, man. It was so fun. The prep for it, the show itself, everything about it. I don't know if you know. So that show was at Convention Hall.
Yeah.
The Clash played Convention Hall, I think in '83.
That's crazy.
Wow. It was on. We got to play Clash songs on a stage the Clash played. It was so cool. But what was great about that experience was, first of all, just for fun, Declan has a little recording studio in his basement, which he's getting really, really good at, by the way, if you need someone to record you. Declan.
In-house, man. That's the way to do it. In-house DIY.
Yeah. He's amazing. But anyways, we recorded some Clash songs, like tracked them, and it was fun as hell, man. It was awesome. And those songs are crazy complicated. There's so many little things. It's nuts.
Anytime I wanted to cover Train in Vain, I was like, I could do this. And then I start playing it, and I was like, wow, this is actually way harder than I thought it was.
Misleading.
Yeah. That song is like, it's like playing, like we did a Johnny Thunders and New York Dolls cover set, and all those songs, they seem so simple, but it's the little, like those little intricacies.
Yeah.
That make them so cool. And it's same with like a song like Train in Vain, like it's just cool, man.
Same thing with like the Descendants. Like you're like, oh, I could play Coolidge, and then you hear Coolidge, and you're like trying to like, I'm like, wait, this is so hard.
Yeah,
like, this is not like a punk song. What's going on here?
It's such a weird feeling. Like I was trying to play last night. I was just messing around in my apartment. I was playing the Old Man Markley. You know those guys?
No.
Yeah. Old Man Markley. They're like a country. They're like a folky band.
Okay.
But they're how do I explain? They're just real fast with acoustic guitars and like, banjos and stuff, and violins and stuff, harmonies. They're awesome. I think they're a Fat band. Pretty sure they're on Fat Records.
Oh wow. Okay.
Or they were at least. They're really, I totally recommend them. Check them out. I've been listening to them a lot. I used to listen to them. We played with them actually at Maxwell's in Hoboken a while back, years and years ago, but lately they came back up. Anyways, I was playing along one of their songs, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so fast. Like, how do they do this the whole song? Like, I was trying to finger pick this pattern I just came up with just to play along.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I'm getting it. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now. And then 30 seconds later, I'm like, holy fuck, how can I still continue doing this? Like, this is impossible.
Amazing.
Well, God. So one record I want to mention is a record I just recently discovered. Are you familiar with Lenny Lashley?
No.
So he's from a band called Darkbuster.
Okay.
He played in Street Dogs. He was in Street Dogs until now. I think they just decided they're breaking up.
Okay.
But this dude, I got booked to play a show with him, and I had heard his name before. This was about a month ago. And this is the kind of guy where, like, I didn't know his music, and he starts playing, and, like, I'm watching this dude. Like, I'm absorbed. And, like, that doesn't happen to me very often, honestly. Like, how often do you go to a show, see someone you don't know, and you're watching them, and you're like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, man. It's when it happens, it's
like magic. It's I don't know if there's a better feeling than that. But anyways, so he's got a project called Lenny Lashley's Gang of One.
Okay.
But before that, I dove deep in the last few weeks. I've dove in, I don't know. Well, the past tense. Well, that is past tense, though. Anyways, He had a previous project called Lenny and the Piss Poor Boys. If you get a minute, check it out. It's country-ish. I guess it's a country record. It's so good.
So good.
For maybe 2 weeks, I listened to only that record every day.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like when you get something like that, there's two in recent memory. Like I played a basement with some dude from Canada called John Creedon, and watching him play, like sometimes you go, you do your set, and good songs are good songs, but like some people just. I don't know. Some people play acoustic, and this guy was just like, "Wow, you don't even need a band." Yeah. And just recently, I played with that dude Sammy K, who's from Jersey as well.
Yeah, I know Sammy.
And Chad Price from All, and this other dude Chuck Coles, and I was like, as soon as he started playing, and I'm watching his patterns, I love songwriting, so I like to see. Okay, this is a really cool verse. Where's this going to go? Pre-chorus. Holy shit, okay. Oh, cool. Man, once you connect the verse to the pre-chorus to the chorus and you knock it out of the park every single time, I'm like, God damn, this dude, like, not one clunker in the set.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is, because it inspires you. You're like, okay, I'm going to go home and fucking write a song now.
That's the best. That's the best thing, That's the best thing.
Yeah.
That just happened to me with Lenny Lashley. I had messaged him something on Instagram or something like that, and he got back to me, and then I wrote a song.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like I literally just got his message, whatever, responded, picked up my guitar, wrote a song right there, and that was it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And that will be on the full length, by the way.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, very cool.
Last record I got. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. Last record.
Last record is definitely Maybe by Oasis.
Oh,
nice.
Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
They're probably like my first favorite band. Well, actually, except for maybe Blink-182.
Okay. I fuck with Dude Ranch.
I was I was a kid when they were like at their peak.
Yeah.
I love Blink-182, but once they put out that self-titled release,
okay.
I heard that, and I'm like, nah, man, no. I don't know, like you're not making, dick and fart jokes anymore. You're trying to be emo. This shit's whack.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Oasis record is a monster. Like like when I first heard Supersonic, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Talk
I'm like,
about songwriting,
awesome.
Yeah,
so good. The first two records.
It's just so, yeah, man. It's just that to me encapsulates Oasis as a band. They are a rock and roll band, and that's a rock and roll record.
Yeah,
definitely.
Through and through.
And Noel's such a great songwriter. I mean. And he's interviewee too.
Yeah,
anytime he gets interviewed,
exactly.
All right.
You ever see there's a video where Noel is he's reading like emails that people send him and answering?
No, but I'm
so
sure it's
funny.
amazing.
So funny.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
The documentary is great too.
Oh yeah. Good one.
And it has like subtitles, which you actually fucking need.
You need them.
You fucking need them.
Yeah, that's just thick.
So cool. We love really to hear these records that really shape you and really influence you into the sound that we get to hear in the Vansaders. And then we also love movies. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to just like list 5 movies that you really fucking love.
All right. So the first movie is all the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh.
Except for the last one.
Yeah, the last one was brutal, right? That was so bad.
I didn't even see it because there was so much bad talk.
Let me just say one thing about the last one. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Oh,
but it doesn't count because it's not nearly as good as any other ones.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's even good. I love Indiana Jones. I liked it. So what? They're fucking aliens. So what?
Yeah, I mean those first 3. Yeah. And I was pulling for Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, I'm so glad that he got blessed with this. And like you ever sit in a movie theater and 30 minutes in, you're like, I don't think this is going to get any
Not
better.
happening for me.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not discounting any of that. That's totally accurate. But I still enjoyed it. I don't know,
Sure.
whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
man.
Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
Nice.
Charles Fleischer.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's
Yeah.
so good, man.
It was the first time I was ever attracted to a cartoon. Jessica Rabbit.
For sure.
First one.
Yeah.
There were others afterwards.
First and last.
Speaking of Roger Rabbit, have you guys seen Cool World?
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Ralph
That's
Bakshi, is that how you pronounce his name? That did the animation for that?
I don't know.
He did a lot.
I
Like
don't
he did Fritz the Cat. He did a lot of that style of animation. Like
Yeah.
he's one of a kind, man. But go ahead.
that was a cool movie too. I gotta just mention it.
Absolutely.
That's not technically part of my list, for the record, but it is very cool. Snatch.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice one.
Did
Love
you
that
did you
movie.
watch the
Love
new
that.
Guy Ritchie movie?
I have not seen it. No.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
I gotta watch it. It's called The Gentleman.
It looks like a return to form.
Yeah.
Of those first two, Lock, Stock, and Snatch.
Lock, Stock's great.
Yeah, I love those. And he also did a movie Rock and Rolla, which I think Idris Elba was
I
in.
didn't see that one.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't see that one either.
yeah, man.
I think I'm missing out.
No, yeah, amazing soundtrack. Like he's one of those
He
people that
always puts together a
always.
nice one.
You have
like
Edgar
Tarantino
Wright,
kind of style. Like,
Tarantino,
yeah,
like
yeah.
these guys that just have this way of directing, and the music just really accompanies. So.
Sure.
But okay, cool.
Hell yeah. The Big Lebowski.
Wow. You
Got to mention that one.
do you,
So funny.
So we were every now and then we do a cover band called Cover Me Bad, and my friend Christian, who I guess was booking Lebowski Fest at Gramercy, hits me up. He's like, "Do you want to play Lebowski Fest?" And I was like, "Wow, I've only seen the movie once, and I didn't really like it." but then I watched it again, and I loved it. And we did like some covers, including that Kenny Rogers song, the
Right.
Bob Dylan song. Yeah, now I love it. Now I completely. Have you seen, Doug, the movie Under the Silver Lake?
I have not.
Okay, so that's a movie that we keep bringing up on this show.
Oh,
So it's currently streaming on Amazon, and it's one of our favorite movies of last year. And it's really like The Big Lebowski meets Alice in Wonderland. It's fucking.
That's a good
Ooh.
analysis.
It's
yeah.
bananas, and the soundtrack is amazing. Totally recommend it.
Very unique.
I will watch it. You said Under the Silver Lake?
Yes,
Yes.
it's on Amazon Prime.
All right, I'm totally going to watch that. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, the dude that made It Follows. It's his second movie.
The Dude Abides.
Yeah, cool. What else on the list?
Oh, did you guys hear that they're making a spin-off movie of The Big Lebowski? Did you hear about that?
I did not.
No.
Oh, man.
yeah,
They're making a
Jesus,
movie
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus
That-
Rose.
Turturro
It's going to
character?
be amazing.
Yeah, Jesus, John Turturro, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
I have high hopes for that.
What else on
And let's see here. Austin Powers.
the first one? Or
You know, I'm torn between the first and the second.
Okay.
They're both great. I don't know. I'm not sure which one. I guess the first one, because, before having seen, A World Without Austin Powers, and then you watch Austin Powers.
Did you watch it in the
Changed everything.
theaters?
Yeah. My mom took me out of school for, I think, the second one.
Shout out to
That's
Allison.
awesome.
Yo, I watched it with a good friend of mine, and the scene where he's killing, I guess, the Irish guy, I don't know, whatever. He's in the toilet and fucking like
Your Lucky Charms?
yeah, fucking what's Roseanne's ex-husband?
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold is next.
You
Yo,
show that turd who's boss.
we were fucking dying during that scene. Like we couldn't. It's just so ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It aged so well, too. It's still hilarious,
And you know what? Loving James Bond as much as I did, I kind of really embraced it for that side of it too, because it was such a spoof on
Right.
Roger Moore and fucking all that shit. So,
Yep.
oh, that was the last one. Okay, cool.
Solid.
I could give you another one, since we're on
Go
a
for it.
Mike Myers
Let's have it.
thing. So I Married an Axe Murderer is an amazing movie.
Absolutely.
And Ned's
Cult classic.
Ned's Atomic Dustbin on the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
I feel like that that movie is way better than it gets credit for. Like, you never hear about it ever. Granted, it's, you know, it's old now, but still.
Yeah, but you can go back. So many streaming sites.
Yeah, it wasn't
now.
a huge film when it came out, but it definitely got a nice cult following. I think that appreciated it and stuff.
And with podcasting like this one, people will listen to this episode and be like, "Oh, I need to rewatch it again."
Check it out.
Yeah, these conversations keep all this shit alive.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's the beauty of these things for sure.
That's what it is. Somebody hears it, they pick
I'm
it
glad
up.
I can help revitalize Mike Myers' career. You know,
yeah.
After the Love Guru.
After the I thought it was after standing next to Kanye West during that.
I love that clip.
Oh,
the look in his eye.
Yeah.
When Kanye says
Kanye West, George Bush doesn't care about black people or something.
The uncomfortable.
Oh,
it comes through the screen.
Oh God,
it's fantastic.
So good. All right, so wrapping up here, we also asked you, you know, nowadays people love to binge on shows, and there's so many great streaming sites. So I know we asked you, what are some things that you have been binging on Netflix or Hulu?
Binging on shows is so dangerous. I can get locked up for hours. It's terrible. But I would say my go-to right now, and it's not a show that I'm like, that, you know, I'm following, so to speak, but like I put it on all the time. Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard great things.
It's so light and stupid and funny, you know.
Yeah.
It's great if you're a busy person looking to do nothing. It's a really good show.
I just remember the movie,
right? Canadian show.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian.
They got movies. They got a spin-off. A really funny. So okay, I mean it's a stupid show, but they do really creative things. So, you know, there's like 12 seasons, something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been out for a minute.
Of this show. But they find ways to make it interesting. So like at the end of, I think, the 12th season, or I guess technically it's the 11th season, they're in a car chase with some cops, and they have like a bag of mushrooms, like a big bag of mushrooms. So they all they're like, we got to eat the mushrooms because they're going to, you know, catch us with the mushrooms anyway. So the next scene is them in jail, right? And they're starting to like come up, and then all of a sudden they start to turn into cartoons, and they're, you know, like freaking out, like what the hell is happening? We're turning into cartoons. And then they built a season around them being cartoons. So they built a whole new show where they're cartoons.
Oh shit!
I mean, that's
brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant,
yeah.
and
it's so creative.
Yeah, things like that, like, you know, Netflix or like whatever it's streaming. Like you could be completely creative and do a lot of cool stuff like that. You're not like, you know, on like NBC, you know, trying to make families happy and shit.
You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to cut for commercials.
For sure.
Yeah.
Flow through. Yeah.
Cool. Doug, man, I'm gonna link up a lot of like the Vansaders stuff, like I always do. Like I said, man, I haven't seen you in a minute, but hopefully I'll see you sooner than later. And I always push your music because I'm genuinely a fan of everything that you've done. And
I appreciate that, man. Let's get some shows going.
Let's do it. 2020, and that's it, man. Thank you for being on Red River.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast.
Anytime.
Awesome, man.
All right.
It's good hearing from you guys.
For sure.
Right, dude. Thanks.
Later, Doug.
Bye.
Take care, guys.